Welcome everyone to the Lotus Sanctum. My name is Chris, and so for this little message, what I'm going to be focusing on is tapping into it's understanding and seeing when a relationship, when a dynamic is getting and being ruptured. And this isn't just only for dynamics, for relationships, but it's like friendships, even like agreements with clients that you may have, with your coworkers, with your friends, with your family as well too. It's the capacity to be able to move through the ruptures that are showing through. And ruptures are, it happens from a place of there is an intention that was initially set, rules of sorts that were set, and they did not get met, or it's coming to a place where naturally in that dynamic there isn't an alignment anymore, and so it becomes a little bit uncertain, uneasy with the way things unravel. And there just becomes more and more of someone just not being able to meet you with where you had agreed upon a certain rules of sorts. So even through that, it's about like understanding how to move through it, to take that as an opportunity for you to shift the way the relationship works, the way the dynamic works, and to get clear on where you want it to go, and just to kind of readjust yourself. That's the thing, it's to readjust yourself. It's not done so you can manipulate and or change the way someone else is showing up. No, you do not have that right to change how someone else shows up. All you can do is actually shift the way you're showing up in that place. And at the same time, there is always a willingness in what you allow in and what you don't. If you feel like someone is not being in integrity, right, which is an alignment of what they say and what they do, if they are not being in integrity, and that is one of the things that you had disclosed to them and you had asked them to show up in that way, and they haven't, or you try to have the conversation and that person just keeps kind of avoiding it, not wanting to have it, so then you don't have that conversation with them. You don't need to share it with them. Understand that and shift away, because the distress of trying to make something work, it's far more stressful than it is for you to just let things be. And I don't know if the volume picked up on that truck. So it's just to let things be, and to also understand what it is more of what you want. Allow for these places of discomfort, of rupture, of anger, of rage, to show you what it is that you are wanting more of. And the lighting is trash. Let me just fix that. Okay. And so giving yourself the opportunity and the place and the environment to, you're pretty much trying to set yourself up for success, and so what does it take for you to set yourself up for success? There's nothing wrong with wanting success. There's nothing wrong with wanting things to be done and or had a certain way. But it's to think that that's the only way of getting something done, and that any other way is just wrong or not going to happen. And sometimes even when something doesn't happen, see the way you showed up. Was that the lesson that you needed to learn? Because it's the way you approach things as you are going through the discomfort that you begin to see who you truly are, and say, oh, I actually like this. Oh, look, this is something that I can improve on, and I want to do it differently. I don't like the way I showed up here. I don't like the way I gave up my power here. I don't like the way I'm the one putting in the work to communicate, whatever the case may be. And it's giving yourself the space and the time to readjust and to not just blow up, but it's to ask questions if needed, if you need some type of clarity. And when you clearly see when someone doesn't want to meet you where you are, or they're just in a complete different world in that case. Like, so whatever they think and see is valuable is different than the way you do. The person's got to want to meet you there, and there is a sense of willingness to put in the work and the effort, and to continue putting in the work and effort. So just as much as it is important for someone else to put in the work, it is also important for you to put in the work and do what's needed for you to get what, not to get something out of it, but it's to have an experience, right? We're all there to create something for each other and for ourselves. And sometimes the roles change, right? So it just depends on you and what it is that you're craving for, what it is that you're wanting. Seeing that something that you did want initially, you thought it worked, but you look at it again, you're like, you know what, I actually compromised here. And compromise is not the solution. Sure, it gives you a temporary fix in a way, but it could be that it's not exactly the right medicine to remedy what's taking place. And so giving yourself the pretty much the environment to be able to set the stage, to set the environment, to, if you are going to be playing a role where you take control and you do things that are needed. So let's say they want, like, your friends, you're going out, you want to do an activity together, and they want you to figure out the logistics of things so you can get it done, or so you guys can go and have this experience. It's just, it's a bit like understanding that this is the dynamic, this is what you're okay with, and just because you're okay with it one time, it doesn't mean you're okay with the second time. It is an act of continual communication in explaining and describing your needs, and also the other person to be able to meet you there, to have a set ground. And sometimes the constant shifts, it's just that they cannot meet you there. And so understanding that and being like, okay, maybe they don't have the capacity for it. Is this something that is a deal breaker for me? Is it not? Is it something I want to work on? And so that means, like, I'm okay with, like, I want to have the experience, but it's just not going to be with this person. Am I okay with that? And so if that's the case, then what to do next? So what can I do to satisfy and satiate that need that I have? Because you're also understanding that not one person or a group of people that are going to satiate all your needs. It's going to come from various places, even random places too. And that's from this place of openness to say, this is where I want my energy to go. This is what I'm needing. I need support here. To acknowledge when you need support, when you're hitting a place of frustration and misalignment. Because the frustration comes from a place of seeing that whatever you're calling in and whatever you're working through, it's not being met. And it's also that frustrated place, that fire that allows for whatever has transpired, whatever has happened, whatever conversation has happened, whatever dynamic has happened, that it is time for it to change, and that you are walking into a place, an environment that gives you the opportunity and the space to shift it. So, taking advantage of what's showing up. And when you're in that space of getting emotional, whatever the emotion could be, it could be fear, it could be anger, it could be sadness. Give yourself the time and the space to experience that emotion, whatever way that it looks, to experience it and let it out. So that means fears, great thing is actually letting out the fears. So writing it out on a piece of paper, fantastic way to do that. Anger, raging, actually setting up time and environment where you can, whether it be screaming, punching a wall, okay, maybe not a wall, breaking something that you can break, going for a brisk walk and a workout, it's exerting the fire. Fire needs to be directed. Without a direction, it can erupt so much other things that don't need to be fired up. So giving yourself the space and the environment to fire up whatever is needed. And so, like, if you need a place to rage, give yourself that space. Set up environments and places for you to have the emotional experience that you are wanting to have. If someone is not able to meet you in an emotional place, they don't have to. They're not obliged to. You could want them to. You can have the conversation. In the end, if they show up or not, that steps into a bit of a different direction. And so my focus here today, right now, it's really just more on the understanding and acknowledging what is showing up in the moment when it does. And give yourself the grace and pretty much a grace period of being able to experience it, to go through the emotions of it. Journal, so it gives you're not looping in your head. So journal, write out what it is that needs to. And sometimes even giving yourself every day a practice of just junk journal. So you're just writing anything and everything that comes out, especially the first thing in the morning. It can add great value to what's actually showing up. And just write it out. Just write. Because that's also, you woke up in the morning, one, you re-reminded yourself of what you experienced the previous day. Secondly, it also could mean that you are taking a look at the emotions that are coming up too in that moment, because you could have been dreaming about what it is, the type of day that you had previously, and the type of situation that is just consuming quite a bit of your thoughts about, and consuming quite a bit of your energy too, because your attention keeps going out to it. So make sure that you have time, that you are giving yourself the space and the time to actually say, hey, I'm going to give you this time. Right now, I need to do this work, but I'm going to give you this time to actually give yourself the time to be heard, to be acknowledged, to be received. And if you can give yourself those practices, those environments, those spaces, it can really add value to your day-to-day. It can give you more and more clarity. It gives you clarity into the type of thoughts, the activities that you do for your mind. and how to move through them. So give yourself the space to live through and act through what is wanting to come up, and move through it with grace and ease. Give yourself, and even ask for it. You can ask to be given grace and ease, to even be given the courage to move through what's showing up, to move through the emotion, the trigger that is right there for you to deal with. You can push it, but it's not that you push it and you rub it and you push it again, like under the carpet, but it's that you're telling yourself, hey, okay, I know this is here, but I have these things to do and I do need to focus and attention there. And it's a matter of letting your nervous system and your inner child know that I will listen to you. It's just not going to happen right now. I know you're frustrated. I am frustrated too. I do want to, but let's do it at this time. And hold your word to it. And the more you keep giving yourself that grace and that ease to work through your stuff, to work through what's coming up, it also invites in other people around you to step up as well, energetically, emotionally, to step up. And if ever you are noticing that there is a bit of a discrepancy in the way your partner is showing up in your reality, in your life, and you want to tell them, hey, why aren't you showing up like this? You can be upfront about it. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with honesty and being direct with what it is and what is happening. The issue becomes when you feel that you are projecting onto someone, and there is a bit of a discomfort in the way the wordings sound, because the way you want to show up for this person is different than the way the words sound. And so even being with yourself to go and work through those emotions, work through those stories, you see how you are showing up, and it's a manner of understanding the way you want to be met and to get clear on it. You can have that discussion of clarity with your partner, or you can do it on your own. But that is also that this person has to be able to meet you. It's not just a one-way street, it's a two-way street. And we are willing to meet each other. Whether we are conscious of it or not, we are willing to meet each other. So meet your partner and have them meet you. If they don't have the capacity, then you do it a different way, right? So give yourself that grace to be able to lean into what's showing up for you, to create the experiences that you're wanting to have. Do what's needed for you, and know that once you've decided, yes, it is an invitation, one, for your partner or your friend to show up and meet you there. Two, it could also mean that this person leaves and the dynamic isn't what it was, nor will it be what you anticipated it to be. Three, it could be that you're inviting in a different type of dynamic, other people to fill in that space, because you have done the work to work through it. And now you're inviting in something new to fill in that space. But it isn't an invitation that you are doing. When you work through something, when you change the dynamic, the pulse, the feelings around it, it's an invitation for something else to come in and be placed in it. And so give yourself that grace and the time, the courage to be able to put something else into it. And to be okay that it's not going to be, it may not that it's not, it may not, there is a maybe. It may not look the way that you anticipated, but it does still take you along the journey that you had agreed to. So give yourself the grace and the ease to be able to move through what is showing up. So I'm going to be leaving the message here, and I wish you guys all the best, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.